and we need help from Congress, which is not funding this appropriately in some cases. What are your thoughts?
This episode is made possible by OIT VoIP. Find your best-in-class revenue generation for MSPs all over the world. Learn more via the link in the show notes.
You're watching MSP Dispatch, your source for news, community events, and commentary in the MSP channel. My name is Tony Francisco, and in today's story, Cisa courts private sector to get behind CIRCIA reporting rules from darkreading.com. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Administration, Cisa, has extended the feedback window by 30 days for private sector input on proposed cyber incident reporting for critical infrastructure, that's CIRCIA rules. CIRCIA, mandated in 2022, imposes strict reporting deadlines, requiring cyber attacks to be reported within 72 hours and ransom payments within 24 hours. Despite the critical need for data collection, CISA faces funding constraints from Congress. CISA emphasizes the importance of streamlined reporting and urges the private sector to advocate for clear rule definitions. Recommendations are welcomed until July 3rd via Federal Register. Ray, here is what I see. Cisa has created this amazing framework, and they, in my opinion, just an incredible potential. And they're saying, hey, listen, we need a little help here. CIRCIA, back in 2022, I think you've got some really important stuff there regarding deadlines and on reporting ransomware, the attack, any type of payment. That fits inside the CISA architecture, the framework that we've created. We need to combine forces here and start really implementing this combined structure so we can get our arms around ransomware, the communication, all the exploits that are happening day to day for us. And we need help from Congress, which is not funding this appropriately in some cases. What are your thoughts? Because I feel like everyone's going in the right direction, but it's not moving fast enough, and I'm getting frustrated. Talk to me.
I get the need to gather data. I get the need for reporting. Let's be really clear. I do, and I fully welcome Matt Lee, Jason Slagle, and Tom Lawrence. Maybe he'll talk about it on Wednesday. I welcome any of them to, or on a subsequent episode, welcome any of them to prove me wrong. But to me, the self-reporting is solely for the point of shaming or assigning additional blame. It is not to improve the industry in any way, shape, or form. Who gets benefited by the notification? Because if you're involved in a data breach, well, you were involved in the data breach, right? Home Depot, Target, how many of these? Experian, what could you do about it? Not a damn thing. You just get notified. So I don't believe notification is actually moving us forward the way it's intended to be. I believe notification is for the sole use of insurance companies and investigators, and possibly used for shaming people that have made payments to ransomware parties. So you get what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out the why.
Okay, you're hitting on something. So I'm gonna counterbalance that for just a moment, to the best of my ability, because I'm clearly on that side, in my opinion. But I'm trying my best to.
We need the counterpoint. Neutral. Yeah, we need the counterpoint.
This is for the stockholders. This is for we need accountability over what happened. When is this timely communication going to occur? Is there going to be follow-up communication from that flag in the sand that said, hey, this stake in the sand says this is the time it happened? How long after that do we have the root cause analysis? What was the point of exploitation? And what are the corrective actions taken? If any of that is delayed, non-existent, and now we have serious accountability issues, which of course is going to be a leadership and possibly an infrastructure change. So what I'm trying to do is balance this out from the shareholder perspective. However, it all ironically comes back to pointing blame. And the only real benefactor in that particular case is the insurance company. So unless if there's an implied insurance, a benefactor from the stockholder. But what am I missing there?
So benefit to the stockholder. I imagine you have, and I'm picking on you because you're on the call, but I imagine you're like me in that you have some retirement assets in some mutual funds or some Forex or some S&P 500. Have any of those companies been breached? Have you checked for their notifications? Have you made sure you're on all their notifications lists or you're on their shareholder calls to ask? No. Hell, Microsoft, we just talked about, and I'm an investor in Microsoft. I'm not stupid, minor investor, but you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it serves the investors at all. And to the argument on the reporting side, which is where I think it should head, I think it absolutely, if it was going to be done correctly, and I think you and I are in agreement on this one, where it should be is to make sure reporting was done within a certain amount of time, notification to insurance companies or to the federal FBI is done in a certain amount of time, that criminal action is taken quickly, that investigate. You get what I'm saying? Like all these other things you need in IR and communication and final resolution and root cause analysis and, maybe even hunting down the attacker. All of those things are what really needs to be done. And that's what's been failing, because everybody getting breached by malware, we've been doing that solid since like the early 2000s. But how we respond to it is what needs to be changed. Notifying is the first step. And until they document, we expect this done within this time, within this time, within this time, including response, communication, and resolution. The initial notification doesn't serve any purpose other than you get penalized today, and 6 months from now they said, this is how you should have handled it with zero guidance. This is what we hold against you.
No, you and I are saying the same thing. I think this actually started. I think we're going in the right direction. I think this started with the documentation of exploits. The fact that we have a CVE database now and we're doing these announcements is huge, huge, huge. We could talk about this a lot longer. The good news about the CVE database is that people are actually having a documented process to fix these bugs. And your next notable is talking exactly about that.
And in my notable mention, Google just patched the 5th zero-day exploit for Chrome this year, in a story written by Lawrence Bonk for Engadget. Google has issued a security update for Chrome to fix a zero-day vulnerability exploited by threat actors, the 5th patch this year. Classified as a high-severity issue, the CVE dubbed 2024-4671 vulnerability triggers a user-after-free flaw in the browser's visual component, potentially leading to crashes or code execution. Details about the real-world attack remain undisclosed, consistent with Google's practice of waiting until most users have updated. The fix, reported by an anonymous researcher, is available for Mac, Windows, and Linux, with automatic updates rolling out gradually. Users of Chromium-based browsers like Microsoft Edge, Brave, and Opera, and Vivaldi are also advised to update promptly.
If you found this episode eye-opening, catch more MSP Dispatch at 10 a.m. throughout the week. Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
This has been a broadcast of the MSP Media Network.